Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another wonderful day here. We are going to be taking a slight divergence from what we have been doing. Of course, I do need you to first make sure that you have, in fact, turned in the writing projects from yesterday. Those are required for you to get your point attendance and the credit for the count day stuff that's been going on, and obviously the assignment itself. You want the credit for that too, not just the count day information. Anyway, besides that, I do want us to kind of transition out to the next thing. We are going to start talking about allusions in poetry. And yes, that's allusions with an A, not illusions with an I. This is not magician time, although I do think poets are magicians with words. Anyway, so when we're thinking about illusions, what you're going to be doing today is you are going to be looking at a couple of paintings, and then you're going to be looking at a couple of poems. Those poems belong to one of the paintings that are presented. Your job is to find out which poem is alluding to which painting. Okay, so there are few different paintings and a few different poems, and I will say that some of the poems don't really necessarily go to one of the paintings. All right, so your job is to figure out. It's kind of like a mix and match kind of game. Okay, think about it as a game where we're trying to figure out which poem contains the allusion. And an allusion, to define it for you, is any sort of literary kind of device that is referencing an outside text. And if we're thinking about text as, artwork or another poem or a video or, a photograph, some sort of image of any kind, or maybe even a sound, so we can be referencing music, right? So these sort of things that we're referencing, that is an allusion. The most alluded to book would be the Bible. Most typically, it's most famously alluded to, often with images like the Garden of Eden, with like the resurrection of Christ story, that sort of thing. Those are highly alluded to elements in literature. Now, I'm not saying that those are technically or are going to be in the poems today, but your job is to find similar sort of references where we refer back to elements of the photos, elements of the paintings, elements of the writings, that sort of thing, and figure out which poem goes to which. That's it. It's just kind of a game, but it will require some reading, a little bit of investigation, a little bit of thinking from you. So go ahead, get that done today, get that submitted here today, and I am also going to direct you, when you're done with that, over to the Power Standards. It'll look pretty familiar, same sort of Power Standards sheet that you received first semester. That's because we're just returning to it. I want you to be returning to something familiar, and then we'll be moving on to new stuff as we go. So take a look at those. A couple of things shouldn't take you too terribly long today. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and of course, be a better person today than you were yesterday. Have a good one, everybody.